Hello, hello, hello to some, good evening to others, and praise the Lord to the saints of God. I hope everybody's doing well. This is the promo for the Power Conference, all right? So if you usually see me on Sticks and Stones, I might have started off and say, it's your boy, Chips Ahoy, Almond Joy, Checkerboy Floyd. Tim Clark is my name. Hope everybody's doing good. It's a beautiful day in St. Louis. Today we have one of the best musicians and producers in the city, not just in the city, I'm sorry, because he ain't in St. Louis, but in the entire country. We're so honored to have him, and he's shaking his head. No, it's true. It's the truth, okay? So we have the great Elder Terrence Ruffin joining us. How you doing, my brother?
What's up, Tim? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I see you in your car. You know, we don't want you to have no car accidents, man. Don't, not on my accord.
I'm a musician. We can eat, play, chew gum, and walk almost at the same time.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man. Yeah, so for those who don't know who you are, all right, I know you want to skip this question, but you know, the people got to know you, man. They got to know who you are, right? So could you just give us a brief intro on who you are and your connection to the fellowship?
My name is Terrence Ruffin. I hail from the wonderful city of Houston, Texas, by way of Louisiana. Who I am? I am a man who loves God that happens to. That's who I am. Family man, love my family. Yeah, my
Okay.
connection, my connection to Lively Stone. My connection has been with Lively Stone probably from some 10 to about 10 years. I started traveling with then Pastor Marvin Sapp at the time, who's now Bishop Marvin Sapp, and came connected with the guys there, Bishop Lee, Bishop Alfonso, and Bishop Lee called me and asked me to come into aid some music, and I gladly obliged. And here we are, a couple of years later, getting ready for another power conference. So I'm grateful to God for the connection. Connections are very, very vital. Anything that has to have life has to be connected to something. So, uh, Lively Stone has a life.
Yes, sir.
So we're connected to help life even continue to flow in and through others. This,
Hey man, I didn't even it has been about 10 years. Wow. My goodness, time really flies, man.
lives,
And
man.
yeah, it really flies, man. I'm honored personally as a musician and all that MD and all that stuff. I'm honored to have you to be there with me and be my mentor and guide me and all that stuff. I'm very appreciative of that.
It's my honor.
Um, okay, so let's go to the next question. So we're gonna Pat Elder Ruffin's gonna be here dealing with the worship and arts track. So I want you to give us some synopsis of what people can expect when they come through. It's been a lot of people registering for that track already. So what are some things that they could, expect to take away from that track?
Well, one of the key components that we're looking to download into people that come to take our track is pretty much, especially worship leaders, because we're living now in a visual age, in a media age, and now with some of the churches getting ready to go back to in-person worship, but yet others are deciding to stay virtual. We have to learn how to maximize and to connect with the people on a virtual level and an in-person level at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
uh, while being effective. So Minister Cedric Ballard, who hails from Houston as well, one of my friends, one of my brothers, I'm bringing him in to do that track. Uh, so that's what you can look forward to. We have another track with Bishop Designate. Chris McNeil.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to deal with bridging the gap between traditional worship and contemporary worship. One of the things that we deal with now, especially in the Black church, is to a degree we're losing our identity sound-wise. Um, my son is now 7 years old, and even though I'm his father, he has some of my mannerisms. He has my face on his body.
Mm-hmm.
He has some of my ways, some of the ways I move. He still has his own sound and identity.
Mm-hmm.
He's my son. He's flesh of my flesh, my bone, literally. But he himself is still implanted with the sound in his vocal cord that even though he may sound a little bit like his father, I'm gonna know my son when my son says daddy. I'm gonna know my son when my son cries. And what we're doing is now these days we are losing that sound. I believe it was on the PBS special. I believe it was the State of the Black Church versus the Black Church or something like that. That was on, and I watched the segment that they were talking about the sound of the Black church. The sound of the Black church had such an amazing texture to it that people were attracted to church who had never been to church, walking down the street based upon the church's sound. When I was a little boy, I grew up uh, in a church called First Church of God in Christ,
Mm-hmm.
United in New Orleans, Louisiana. That was one of our churches, and I can remember as a child during convocation that our sanctuary was upstairs, and downstairs was the kitchen and things like that. And I can remember one night when we wasn't supposed to be outside. We was outside doing church. The church was going forth, and church had such an amazing sound and draw that alcoholics would come in based upon the sound and ended up at the altar getting delivered from alcoholism based on the
Wow.
sound.
Wow.
So a sound attracted them, a sound drew them, but then when they heard the sound, it was attracted to the sound. God led them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying that these other sounds don't have their place. What I am saying is there's a balance
Mm-hmm.
for us not to lose. That's just like hymns. Any guy or any musician that comes to me is gonna have to know or have to learn some of the basic hymns because these are grassroots, and I teach this all the time. People talk about how great is our God. Sing with me, how great is our God.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sing how great is our God. And sings my soul, my Savior God.
Yeah.
How great thou. So to me, some of these songs are derived and or birthed from hymns.
Most definitely.
You
Most
know, don't
definitely.
get it twisted. I know, I know the argument right now is all of the hymns that we sing in the Black church was not authored by us,
Right. Most of them were
but
not.
we gave them a voice in our community.
Mm-hmm.
We embraced them. Yeah, I've seen. Sorry for all this,
That's
but
fine.
I've seen some of the most amazing musicians with the worst reputations.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the problem with that is, and I don't want to go too much into this. I'll be giving away a whole lot of stuff. The problem with that is that you add validation about how you live to the thoughts and the ideas of what people already think you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's why Proverbs, I believe it's in Proverbs, it says that a name is to be chosen among rubies and for riches. Because your name can bring you into places where your gift may not be able to bring you to.
Right.
But then your gift will take you into places that your name and your character can't keep you in.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. That's very true. So I'm looking forward to that conversation. I'm looking. I really am. I really am.
And that's
Okay.
exactly what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it's gonna be. A conversation. And listen, maybe next year I may be able to bring one of my mentors to St. Louis to sit down with us at a round table discussion. I'm gonna put this out here right now for a reason, uh, where he can come and pour in to uh, some of the musicians on a local level, a national level, and the international level.
Yes, sir.
Because the truth is as a mentor, this young man is one that I submit to as a mentee. As
Mm-hmm.
many people says that I'm their mentor, I submit as a mentee myself because I don't know. The old what's the old saying? No one man is an island.
That's right.
I don't know it all. There's still some things I'm going through. Not just about music, about life.
Mm-hmm.
Like life. Because listen, no matter how rich you are, how poor you are, how good you are, how bad you are, life happens. And you got to know how to deal with life.
In life. That's true. That's true. Okay, I got one last question. Okay. Worship and arts is a very large field, and it covers a very vast scope. If you can speak to every leader or every participant in that particular field, what is some things that you would like to share for them to know, and what's burning on your heart? As far as it's a lot happening in the world. It's a lot of transitions taking place, like you just said, about traditional and all that stuff. But is that the main thing? What are some things that you would want to speak to that person?
Number one, appreciate your loved ones, because we are definitely living in a day where you're here today and you're going to the next minute. It's not here today going. It's here today going to the next minute.
Right.
That's number one. Number two, one of the major things I can say to us as people who work, especially full time in worship and arts, diversify yourself. Diversify yourself. Diversify yourself. Diversify yourself. What do I mean by that? I can do music in church. I can do a little bit of production. I now own a funeral home. I can teach. I can preach. I had to find ways to diversify myself because these little young boys out here, they're trying to take it off.
Oh yeah.
But there are some amazingly gifted young people, and a lot of people, a lot of pastors, not pastors like we know them, but a lot of pastors just looking for the next hottest thing. Here's the thing: they're looking for the next hottest thing, and don't care if they have stability or not, because they only care about the gift set.
Yep. Nope. You got to stop
So
right
I would
there.
say,
You got nope. That's deep. That's because see that conversation. We could be here for an hour because that's real. That's real. For real.
Right.
But yeah.
So you got to get somewhere where your man and your woman of God cares about you as a person. They care about your mental state. They care about your physical state. They care about your soul. Then comes your gift set.
Right.
If you can't pick up the phone and call your man or your woman of God, and they come through, or they are able to talk you off the ledge, or you can't get to them, in my eyes, because I'm a preacher's kid, that's the problem. So, um,
True.
appreciate family, diversify yourself, develop multiple streams. You cannot get rich off the church.
Mm.
So you have to find ways to create other streams. And I'm not talking about the blessings of it. See, I ain't gonna lie. I had some friends who did it, and during this pandemic, I lost about $30,000. I can't
Mm.
do it.
Mm.
Thinking that's gonna be another stream.
Yeah.
It can't. So do what you gotta do to develop another stream. But out of all of this, I shouldn't have to say this, but your number one thing is to always seek God. I shouldn't have to say that because that should be fine.
Right.
Because seeking God is what causes you to stay fresh. Seek God. Make sure that your relationship with your man or your woman of God is great. Because the truth of the matter is you can't have a vision in another man's house.
Oh man. Mm. See, you want to be on here for an hour, don't you? You want to be. That's true.
Vision in another man's house. You can only have dreams. You can only have dreams. You can't have visions in another man's house. So you gotta be willing to put your visions aside for the sake of the ministry for a season. Because when God entrusts you with what's another man's, how much more will you do?
Yes, sir. Most definitely.
So it's gonna be a good time. And again, I'm gonna just put this out there. We're gonna talk about it next year for the Power Conference. I think I'm gonna do what I gotta do to make this happen. That my mentor comes and spends one of my mentors comes and spends at least 2 to 3 days in St. Louis with us. And I'm honored because I'm here getting ready for my recording, my little concert.
Yes, sir.
That I'm doing. And my mentor, one of my mentors, called me and said 2 words. I'm coming.
Oh, that's important.
And if we had time, we would have a wonderful discussion.
Yeah.
With my mentor. His name is Minister Michael.
Mike B. How's it going, my brother? Oh, wow.
I heard the whole interview.
Oh man, he been in the car the whole time. Yeah. Listen here. I was just practicing your music earlier, man.
Man, I'm honored.
Goodness gracious.
Oh man, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I really do. So we gonna put that out there. Bishop, you got to buy another ticket to come from LA next week.
Yeah, he got to do this.
But
we're gonna talk about this one.
Times, I believe in workshop settings now, and we were just talking about this today. In workshop settings now, so many people and so many musicians just want the flair and the fluff of the music. They don't want the information. Right. They don't want the downloads. They don't want the power. They just want the skill.
Yeah, they just.
I'm gonna throw this out there because we had this discussion today, and maybe we'll finish this next week.
Yeah.
When you look at the whole premise, purpose of dating, the Bible never said that David was anointed to kill. He was anointed to be a ruler and not a king. What happens when you find out that that you are not anointed to play. It's just a high skill that God gives you. So,
See, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm just listen because I got so much to say. But I gotta.
because we always take David and use him as an example as a
Yeah.
minstrel. The Bible never called him a minstrel. The Bible called him anointed as a king
As a king.
from his mother's family.
Mm.
The Levites was anointed to play.
Mm-hmm.
The king just happened to have an extraordinary gift that God decided to.
Mm. You.
So it's gonna be good. It's
Yeah.
gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna be good.
Yes. Hey man, I'll go ahead.
So, I don't know what we gonna do, how we gonna do it. I'm gonna leave that up to Professor Ali.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna have great conversation. And if you want the impartation, if you want the information, if you want the inspiration, you need to come on.
Most definitely. You guys hear some of the great information that Elder Ruffin has, and he's been giving out. It's. I'm very excited. I'm holding myself back. I can't believe you got Mike Burrell in that car, man. That's a big deal. That's a big deal for the musicians that's watching. Y'all know. Yes.
About getting to St. Louis for 2 days or so.
Come on.
If he would have.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Make sure y'all watching this, y'all register for this conference. It's wonderful that we're going to be both live and virtual, so there's no excuse for you to miss out on this information. There's no excuse for you, all right? Come on, mypowerconf.com. So I'll see y'all soon. And Elder Ruffin, I'll see you next week, man. Can't wait. Can't wait.
Yes, sir.
I love y'all. Y'all have a good one.
You too.